I've applied to hundreds of jobs, but I've not heard back from anybody. I know it can be absolutely frustrating. But some of the smaller communities, how can I, survive there? And in case if I, move to Canada through one of these communities and get a permanent residence, will I still have an opportunity to move out to other places? So guys, let me answer this question for you right there. Hey guys, we're back today with another video for all of you. And this one's gonna be exciting because this is for those of you who are looking to immigrate to Canada.
Guys, I know a lot of you are worried about how high the CRS scores are. Some of you are worried that you're not able to achieve high IELTS scores, while others in the comment section have told us it's so impossible for us to find a job through the job bank. Now, we are going to talk about an immigration program that's going to address all of these concerns. Guys, Government of Canada has recently been releasing immigration programs that are planning to help specific communities bolster up the economy while making sure that you are able to find a very good job and are also able to settle down as a permanent resident in Canada.
One such program is the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program. So guys, make sure to apply to this program as early as possible because this is going to exist only until February of 2024. Also guys, make sure to watch till the end of the video as we'll be talking about what this program is, what are some of the eligibility criteria, what are the participating communities in this program, and how you can increase your chances of getting a permanent residence.
Guys, we know a lot of people would have questions like, I am of this age group, would I be eligible? I'm a registered nurse, would I be eligible? Would my knock code be eligible? Guys, we'll try to do our best to answer all of these questions in this video. So do stay tuned until the end. Please make sure to show your love to us by liking this video so that more people will get to know about this amazing immigration program. And also subscribe to the channel if you really like our content and want to see more such content in this channel.
Also guys, we know that a lot of you are wanting to connect with us and have some questions that you want us to answer for you. So recently we launched the Connect With Us platform, which you can find in the About section of our channel. So make sure to sign up to that and connect with us for any questions that you may have.
We'll also leave a link down in the description box below to make it convenient for you. Now guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
So guys, let's first take a look at what this program is about. The Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program was created to address the labor shortage in some communities and boost their economy. So let's take a look at what these communities are. The first one is Vernon, British Columbia, North Bay, Ontario, Sudbury, Ontario, Timmins, Ontario, Sault Ste. Ontario, Brandon, Manitoba, Altona, Rhineland, Saskatchewan, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Claresholm, Alberta, Thunder Bay, Ontario, and finally, West Kootenay, British Columbia. Guys, that's quite a lot of communities right there. I'm so sure that you guys might be wondering, how can I survive in a smaller community? How, I've lived in a bigger city life before, and how can I even exist in a place like that? Another question might be if I move to Canada with this program and get a permanent residence through one of these communities, do I still have an opportunity to move elsewhere? So guys, to answer your question, not all the participating communities are in fact smaller communities. For example, Thunder Bay, Ontario, in fact has big shopping malls and other shopping centers for you. And in fact, you can even fly to downtown Toronto for just $9, guys. Do you believe that? Just $9. You can in fact travel every weekend to Toronto if you want to. And I'm a big city vibe girl. So for me, absolutely living in a smaller community is a nightmare. But if I have an opportunity like this, would I not? Absolutely, that's an awesome way for you to, move to Canada and in fact, increase your chances of getting a permanent residence. And to answer your second question, we do not recommend that, you immediately move to another province upon landing. Further in the video, we'll tell you why we do not recommend that. Now let's move ahead.
So guys, now that you know what are the different communities that are participating in this program, let's take a look at what the eligibility criteria are. Now for this program, the eligibility criteria is split into two different criteria. The first one is the IRCC specific criteria when you apply for your permanent residence. And the second one is the community specific criteria for each of these communities. Now let's start out about understanding the IRCC specific criteria. Now, if you've seen some of our other videos on various immigration programs, this one is no different, guys. But we'll walk you through what the various ones are. The first one is obviously going to be your language test. Guys, like you must take an IELTS exam or a TEF exam if you decide to do French as a course in order for you to be able to be eligible for this program. Now, on the screen, you'll be able to see what are the minimum CLB benchmarks that you need to get depending on the tier code of your work experience. So guys, you can take a look. Now, what we would recommend is that you not only meet the minimum requirements, but you try to get as high a score as possible. And later on in the video, we'll talk about why that is a requirement. Guys, the next criteria is obviously work experience. In the last 3 years, you must have had at least 1 year or 1560 hours of continuous full-time work to make sure you're eligible for the program. Now, the big differentiating factor between this program and the others is that this work experience must have been gained in the last 3 years and not in the last 5 years like other programs. So make sure you meet that criteria. Also, guys, if you're not sure how to write, a work reference letter, do check out this video up here. Now, you need to know that, this job has to be paid full-time and continuous. So let's say if you've done some sort of like say volunteering or like self-employed, then those jobs are not eligible as part of this program. Now, if you're an international student who has recently graduated from Canada, let's say in the last 2 years, then you don't have to meet this specific criteria, guys. And so that's a great advantage for those who are international students in Canada. Now, let's move on to the next criteria. The next criteria, guys, is obviously your educational requirements. And it is very, very simple. All you need to show is that you have a Canadian high school diploma or an equivalent in your home country. Now, if you're studied outside Canada, you need to make sure you get an educational credential assessment either through WES or IQUAS or any of the other mediums that you have. Guys, to be really honest with you, this is some of the lowest education requirements among all immigration programs. So a lot more people will be able to qualify. Now, if you are somebody whose academic mark sheets or the degree certificate is not in English but in a regional language in India, then do make sure to stay tuned until the end of the video because we have a solution that will definitely help you. So check it out, guys. Guys, the next and very important criteria is that you need to show proof of funds depending on if you're coming here on your own or if you're coming with your family. On the screen, you can see what are the various amounts that you would need if you're coming here as a single person or as a family. And so as you can see here, these requirements are much lower when compared, let's say, to normal express entry requirements where the cost of living expenses are much higher. So that's a great advantage of coming through this program and a great way for a lot of you who may not have huge sums of money who are looking to come to Canada. So last and one of the most important criteria that you need to meet is that you need to be able to show to IRCC that you are committed to the community that you will be applying for PR and also to show that you will be staying there for a longer period of time. And so for this, you need to be able to prove to them that you can meet this criteria.
Now that we've taken a look at the IRCC specific requirements, let's take a look at the community specific criteria. So one important thing for you to guys know that even if you meet all the eligibility criteria for the IRCC specific requirement, unless you get a community specific recommendation, you cannot apply for your permanent residence under IRCC. So guys, there are 11 participating communities and each of them have their own set of eligibility criteria. And each of them have their own set of scoring. So like the one you can see on the screen right now. And they have points assigned to each of the eligibility criteria. So all you have to do is get as many points as possible in order to be eligible for this program. And one other thing you guys have to note is that we are going to summarize, the important pointers from all the different communities criteria and give you a summarized point. So we'll leave a link down in the description box below for all of the different community websites you can go to, and you can take a look at, what criteria they have in specific to each of the communities. The first and the most important criteria is to find a job with any of the employer in the community. So guys, I can already hear your mind voice. I'm sure you guys are thinking like I've applied to hundreds of jobs, but I've not heard back from anybody. I know it can be absolutely frustrating, but you guys must know that, a lot of you are applying to these jobs and obviously, the race is gonna be hard. But guys, on the bright side, all it takes is going to be for one employer to look at your profile and call you. And that's it. Your golden ticket of getting a permanent residence to Canada is right there. So guys, all of these participating communities have their own job banks. You can see on the screen right now. And in fact, the jobs are, categorized based on the tier system in these job banks. Now, talking about tier system, one thing that you guys have to know is that, the tier codes of the job offer that you have currently, or the one that you will be getting, it has to be equal to the tier code that you have had your previous experience in. So, getting a job offer will fetch you maximum points, and that is obviously, going to make you eligible for this program. The next criteria is language requirement. So earlier in the video, we spoke about how important it is to have a high IELTS score, and that's very true, guys. So you have to get a high IELTS score in order to get maximum points. Now, in case if you're not able to get a high IELTS score, make sure you learn French, because some of these communities do offer high points if you have, English or French, or if you have both. So that obviously, is going to help you fetch more points in this program. Now, the next criteria is for those of you who have been wondering, my age is this, my age is over 50, my age is over 40, my age is over 30, am I eligible for this program? So guys, this program is absolutely good for people who are within the range of 20 to 40 years old. So the higher you are within this scale, the more points you can fetch. Also guys, if you're over the age of 40, you still get points. Not that, you don't get any points if you're over 40, you absolutely will get points. So you need to go into the community specific website to see how much you may get. So make sure to check that out. The next criteria is work experience. So guys, if you have prior work experience of over 5 years, that fetches you maximum points. It doesn't mean that, if you have lower work experience, you don't get any points. Obviously, you do get. So the lower your experience is, the lower the points are going to be. So as simple as that, guys. And the next eligibility criteria is if you have a spouse or a common law partner that you're going to be bringing to Canada along with you, then you can obviously furnish their skills and experience as well, and that's going to fetch you additional points. Now, the next two criteria are connected to the community that's looking to recommend you. So guys, in case, you are somebody who's already living in these communities, it's absolutely great that you guys are already on your way to getting a permanent residence. If not, guys, not to worry. If you're somebody who have lived in a rural community for a longer period of time away from the city life, then definitely that's going to fetch you additional points. Also guys, if you have family, friends, or any well-wisher who's living in these communities currently, in the participating communities, then they can give you a letter, a supporting letter, which obviously is going to fetch you additional points. So time to rekindle some of your old relationships. Look at their Facebook profile, and if you know they're living in the communities that we mentioned, shoot them a message right away. So guys, there are obviously other ways through which you can increase your points. Like, we know there are pointers for education, there are pointers for some of the, priority sector working, so on and so forth. So, you can obviously check the community website in order to see what are some of the additional eligibility criteria that you might need to meet in order to get additional points. So the more points, the better for you.
Guys, now that you understand all the eligibility criteria, you must be wondering, should I really meet all of these criteria, and how the hell am I supposed to get so many points? We understand, guys, but to be really honest with you, based on our research, we found out that not everybody who gets a community recommendation has very high scores. You can see that on the screen right here. So in order to make sure that you maximize your chances of being able to get this recommendation, what we will suggest is making sure that you take importance in especially these two criteria. The first being, you make sure you find a job offer that is absolutely mandatory in one of these communities. And second, guys, try to get as high a score as possible that you can in IELTS. And if you can, also take a TEF exam or TCF exam to just learn French. There is no harm in doing it. In fact, in a lot of these communities, it will actually help you to find better jobs and help integrate you well into the community. So that would be our suggestion to you guys. So guys, now that you understand the eligibility criteria, let me walk you through what the process is right from the start to you getting your PR. Now, obviously, the first step is that you need to make sure you meet all of the eligibility criteria that we have listed and try to get as high points as possible. The next thing you need to do is to make sure you find a job offer within one of these communities. Once you find this job, you will have to apply to the local community so that you can get a recommendation letter from the community. Now, once you get this recommendation letter, you will then have to submit that along with all of the federal IRCC criteria documents that you would need, and then apply for your permanent residency to IRCC. Now, once the government has looked at all your documents and seen that everything is fine, they will then issue you with your confirmation of permanent residence and then your permanent residency. Guys, another great thing about this program, especially at this step, is that you can also get a work permit to come to Canada even before you get your permanent residence. So as soon as you get your community recommendation letter, you can then use that to apply to IRCC to get your work permit. So it's a great way for you to come and start earning even before you can get your permanent residence, guys. Guys, we want to talk about a really important step in this process of you applying for your permanent residence to Canada, and that is document submissions. Once you receive your community recommendation letter, you will have to submit your documents to IRCC. And a lot of people have to submit their birth certificate, their academic transcripts, police clearance certificates, marriage-related documents, so on and so forth. Now, we know a lot of you guys are from India, and so we also know that not all of these documents would be either in English or French. And that is where Certified Translation India comes in. Guys, they are a great way for you to be able to translate some of these documents into English and make sure that they pass through IRCC's eligibility requirements. Now, you could do this from the convenience of your house, and all you have to do is to have a soft copy where you can upload this onto the platform. Let me show you how it works. So guys, this is the website for Certified Translation India. If you're looking for translation or Ministry of External Affairs Apostille Services, which are a requirement if you're coming to Canada, then please do check them out. It's a very simple process. All you have to do is just upload your documents and you will get your translation apostille services done. We are planning to come out with a detailed video about this process, to do keep an eye out the next week. You can translate any document from any Indian language to English. So Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Punjabi, Hindi, you can convert that to English. You can also translate foreign languages like French and German. As you guys can see, it is so convenient for you to be able to use their services. And in fact, you can use their services from your house online, regardless of whether you're in India or you're abroad, let's say in United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Netherlands, so on and so forth. So definitely do check them out. I will also make sure to leave a link in the description box below after Certified Translation India, where you can understand all of the services that they offer. Guys, as an added incentive for all of you, you can use the code MANOJ10 to be able to avail 10% discount from all of the services on their website. So if you're somebody like me who loves great deals, use this promo code, guys. I will leave that also in the description box down below for you to check it out.
So guys, now that we've come to the end of the video, we hope that we have given you all the information that you might need in order to apply to the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program. Also guys, we want to remind you that this program is going to exist only until February 2024 as of now. So make sure to get your hands on it as early as possible.
Guys, as always, please make sure to do your own research before you decide to apply for this program. We will leave a link in the description box down below of all various communities that are participating so that it will be convenient for you to check them out. We also want to thank our sponsor, Certified Translation India. Please make sure to check them out in the description box down below, and also to use a promo code while availing their services.
As always guys, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time we post a video, and like this video if you really found it useful. If you guys have any further question, let us know in the comment section below and we'll try our best to answer them for you. Until our next video, take care. See you guys. Bye-bye.